Hello and welcome to another Afternoon Idle. I am Andrew. I'm a certified mindfulness meditation coach in the Unified Mindfulness. You can find out more about Unified Mindfulness at unifiedmindfulness.com. And thanks for folks joining. I just remembered that I did not have a link available, and so I just created that link about maybe a minute or 2 minutes ago. So I'm happy to see folks be able to hop in. So yeah, today, as promised, a bell. Let's see. I'm wearing my shirt from the Sokokoji Monastery in Battle Creek, Michigan. And really quick, setting up my timer for us. So what do we do here? We normally do sits that are guided sits in mindfulness, like a sort of straight up mindfulness system. And they're structured in a way to contrast efforting, doing something, with non-efforting, doing nothing. And playing with this sort of approach. There are fully valid paths within meditation traditions where the non-efforting approach is used as almost the entire path. Even in the Zen school, you'll usually start out with breath counting, even though there was encouragement to sort of switch to that more open awareness style that you'll find. But the non-dual traditions will almost always have some sort of precursor practice or technique that's similar to old school Buddhism. So I'm going to do a technique today that I would say is like just a sort of a razor thin kind of technique around being aware of posture. So some of you know Unified Mindfulness is in essence a crafting of Shinzen Young's wider meditation system that's been captured and used in mindfulness research. And the process of getting that articulation of his system and that capture is the team at Unified Mindfulness did that. Juliana Ray being the lead person on that. And so if you know much about Shinzen Young, you may know his more recent book, The Science of Enlightenment. But there's a deep cut from Shinzen from way before that. It's like a 14 CD audio book or audio program. And I think there was a time that was on cassette. And it's also called The Science of Enlightenment. And so it's in essence much of the same material that's in the book, but the book is updated from The Science of Enlightenment. But in there, Shinzen refers to this idea of the do-nothing approach that is, as it is realized in the Soto Zen tradition, as being almost a technique of posture. In other words, there's an emphasis in the way that you sit when you do shikantaza, when you do zazen. And the instructions are a little bit like I offer at the beginning, where your shoulders are stacked over your hips, your ears are on your nose with your navel. And there's a chapter by this 13th century monk, Zenji Dogen, or just Dogen Zenji actually is there. But called Fukan Zazengi, which is in praise of Zazen. The much of that whole thing is all about the posture. Like, what's the posture? The head posture, the body posture overall. Sitting on a cushion gives you this sort of slight balancing on the sit bones, the way you're sitting on a zafu and things like that. So when you're sitting in a chair like this, you can always kind of move a little further forward and play around with focusing on getting your spine upright. So one reason for that is it brings online parts of the nervous system that will make you, or will tune in more to the alertness side. And if you can do that without efforting, then you can be able to balance. And what I will talk about is that basic state, relaxed, alert. So I'm going to offer guidance that may not be available for you. So I just want to call out my bias. But when I meditate, I'm often meditating on the sensation of my spine. And I'm doing that because if I'm sitting for longer periods of time, say 25 minutes, 30 minutes, when my spine is not in alignment, that'll often correlate to a lack of clarity in how I'm paying attention to the concentration, clarity, and sort of what's going on for me. So I pay a lot of attention to the spine, actually from the back of the spine. So from the back of here to the bottom of the pelvis, that's a thing that I've been focusing on for a long time. I don't exactly know that that's in the instructions, but that's something that I've always been aware of, that posture element. So Shinzen talks about sort of the path of enlightenment for a Zen practitioner is sort of through posture. Just by being in this posture, you're bringing about a tone in the nervous system comes online in a way being in that posture. So put another way, posture matters. So for me, what I will often get is pleasant. I will get pleasant sensations around the spine, in the muscles around the spine or below the shoulders and things like that. I have talked to people about that, and people don't have similar corollaries to that. They're like, that's nice for you, but that's not how I experience this. So what we'll do for our something part, the efforting part of our sit today, is we're just going to have a sort of sensation of the posture, of the body positioned. So we can think of it in sort of our three categories. See here, feel. We're focused on feel, specifically the feel out. So kind of having this ability to be aware of that upright posture. And the spine, to me, being the sort of the key for how when I'm sort of in an interoceptive positioning. That means the sensing inside the body. I'm kind of paying attention to that. So I will. So you can just do that. That'll be how I'll guide it. And then if you want, I'll offer a mantra that you'll hear Roshi Joan Halifax often say. I don't know if this is from Roshi specifically, or if this is a wisdom kind of thing that she drops in from someone else. And she will say often, strong back, soft front. And so if you want to use that as a bit of a mantra and being aware of the posture, it's totally up to you. So yeah, if you have questions, let me know, because I didn't realize I just talked for 8 minutes. Yeah, so Sarah says that anytime that Sarah notices her mind is wandered, Sarah will do a focus on the back. And you'll hear that often offered, specifically something that the folks in the Zen school will offer. Will say, if you don't have clarity or your mind wandering, check your posture. And you'll hear that in old school Buddhism as well. So yeah, okay, that's an excellent point. So and I have heard others say this, that they'll focus on the chest being open. And that is, and so we can actually, just the mantra I was offering, strong back, soft front, maybe open and soft have analogs there. So the open chest would be soft front, or receptive at least. So yeah, so yeah, Angie, I can't track back when I decided that was my focus. But yeah, I thought it was, I don't know, I always thought it was good. So, and thank you for the responses. Thank you for whoever our extra person is today. So we'll go ahead and we'll sit for 15 minutes. Again, the mantra part is totally optional, but I just thought I would put that in as a possible modification for folks. All right. As you settle in, adopt a posture, if possible, that is upright, dignified, one that would foster being both relaxed and alert. Stacking the shoulders over the hips, the nose aligned with the navel. Checking in with any tension that's present, seeing if it might relax. Ensuring that you can breathe freely into and out of the belly, so you're not holding or bracing the abdominals. So upright, but not straining or efforting to remain upright. And in our breathing, we use the wisdom of the 3 sages from the 5 boroughs, the Beastie Boys. And we breathe in slow through the nose and low into the lungs. That's our tempo to begin with. Breathing in through the nose is a way of offering back pressure and slowing down. And that slow breath allows us to fill the lower lungs. Exhaling through the nose, that allows us to settle in. And then when you feel you've settled a bit, you can go ahead and let your breathing return to normal. Eyes are however you would prefer. So they can be closed, can be sort of half masked, dropped your gaze, or they can be open. Your choice. And for this beginning part, we're going to focus on either the whole body in the posture that you've chosen, or at least the torso. So what's connected to the back? All of our torso is in essence sort of arrayed from the back, from the spine, I should say. Knowing our attention will be pulled away by mental talk, mental images, sounds around us, notifications on our computer if our eyes are open. Knowing and preparing for that, gently bringing the attention back to the sense of the body in the posture. So just this awareness of the posture and the spine, whichever you've chosen. This can totally be a practice all in and of itself. If you're feeling a little spacey or scattered, we can add to the sense of the posture, the mantra. Strong back, soft front. We ideally use a sort of mellow, calm tone to that. What I will borrow from others as equanimity voice. Strong back, soft front. You can use that mantra at whatever pace is helpful, or you can not use it at all. Just focus on the sensations of the posture. So explore this for a while. So, depending on kind of what's alive in the body today, it may be unpleasant to focus on the body. So, we always have a wide array of techniques and strategies available to us. So, it's no problem at all. So, if that's the case for you, you might want to just consider shifting to focusing out. That's shorthand for hear out or feel out or see out. So either sounds around you or sights around you may be more helpful as an anchor. You could also choose to focus on the mantra specifically. Strong back, soft front. Good. So we'll make our shift and allow our attention to be free range, using no way as way, having no technique as technique. Do nothing. If focusing on the posture was pleasant, you may find your attention is drawn back to that, and that's okay. We're just allowing the attention to go where it wants. So, wide open posture. When we notice that we're controlling or directing the attention, it's no big deal. Just drop that. So when we say drop, we just let go. And mental talk may rise back up and even be a little yammering and annoying. We see if we can just allow that, give that space too. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just this. So if you're feeling maybe scattered or a bit distracted, check your posture. Just see, maybe you're slumped to one side, maybe you're leaning back. Again, no big deal, but see if that might, or see if a change to your posture might help with that feeling. If your eyes have been closed, I invite you to reopen them, or Gaze has been dropped. Lift your gaze and connect to your surroundings. And that might have been a little more than 15 minutes. My timer did not start right away. So it's pretty close, but it may not have been the normal time we normally sit together. So if it felt a little long, that's why. Thank you so much for joining today. If you have any questions or reports, I'll do my best to respond. Before we take off and resume the rest of the activities of the day. Happy Wednesday. It's almost, this week's almost over. Yeah, thank you so much, Angie, for joining, and Sarah for being a regular, and anyone else tuning in. Oh, hey, Brooke. Awesome. Yeah, the few people were requesting the bell, so we've got it. It's just a matter of me not striking it too hard. So, all right. Well, thank you again, and see folks on Sunday, maybe, or well, tomorrow. I'll put up the post a little bit for that link a little earlier. So Thursday and Friday. Not sure what it'll be, but it'll be a thin sliced econo kind of a thing. Probably expand maybe from that sit that I led on the Do Nothing project a while back. Settle, expand, coast, I think was what I had done for that technique. So yeah, that's super cool, Brooke, that your school did that. So that's, yeah, strong back, soft front. I really should. I attribute it to Roshi Joan Halifax, but Roshi may also be borrowing that too. I'm not sure, but if you've read Standing at the Edge, or if you've been in the presence of Roshi, strong back, soft front is very much an embodied way for her as well. So I connect the two for sure. So, all right, see you, everybody.